There are wounds that never bleed, yet they throb quietly in the depths of the soul. They hide behind smiles, beneath laughter, beneath the calm tone of someone who has learned to live pretending everything is fine. These are the wounds no one sees, the words that were said years ago and still echo in silence, the betrayals that left marks deeper than any knife, the moments when you cried out for help and no one heard. But God did. He always did. He knows the exact map of your scars, the visible ones and the invisible ones, the ones time didn't erase and the ones you learned to hide even from yourself. God is not intimidated by your pain. He doesn't turn away from your story. He sits beside you in the middle of the storm, even when you can't feel him there. He touches the places where the world pointed fingers and said, "You'll never heal from this." He places his gentle hand right there, where you still ache, and whispers, "I still see you. You are still mine. There is no wound too deep for his grace." His healing doesn't come in a single moment. It comes in waves. Sometimes it's a whisper in the night that says, "It's okay to rest now." Sometimes it's a verse that suddenly pierces your heart with peace. Sometimes it's the quiet realization that you smiled again without forcing it. Healing isn't forgetting, it's remembering differently. It's the sacred transformation of the past into testimony. What once hurt now becomes a message that says, "I survived because God was with me." God's healing is subtle but powerful. He doesn't always erase the memory. Instead, he removes the poison hidden inside it. He renames what once defined you. Where the world said weak, he says chosen. Where they said worthless, he says precious. Where they said broken, he says beautiful. He transforms the ashes of your story into soil where new life grows. Every scar becomes a mark of survival, proof that grace won where pain once ruled. There's a reason the Bible says God binds up the brokenhearted. He doesn't tape the wound. He restores it. He doesn't say, "Pretend it didn't happen." He says, "Let me show you that I can make it mean something." He takes what destroyed you and turns it into the very thing that builds you. The same tears that fell from your pain will one day water the garden of your calling. The same silence that once suffocated you will become the space where you hear his voice most clearly. You may not notice it, but every time you pray through your pain, instead of giving up, you heal a little more. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of revenge, the wound closes another inch. Every time you worship with tears still on your face, heaven celebrates because healing is happening. Slow, sacred, and real. The world doesn't celebrate this kind of strength. It celebrates loud victories, not quiet resilience. But God sees it all, the nights you couldn't sleep, the mornings you still showed up, the times you didn't have the words but whispered his name anyway. He collects every tear like treasure. Not one has been wasted, not one has fallen unseen. Maybe you think too much time has passed, that you've lived too long with the pain for healing to be possible. But with God, time doesn't limit what he can restore. He steps into your yesterday to rewrite your tomorrow. He speaks light into memories that still feel dark. His love is not limited by your past, it's defined by it. The more broken you were, the more beautiful his restoration will be. When you let him in, you stop bleeding silently. You stop pretending you're fine when you're not. You start breathing peace again. That's what grace does. It enters the cracks and fills them with light. It doesn't erase your story. It gives it purpose. You begin to see that the same pain that tried to destroy you actually became the place where you found God most deeply. One day, you will tell your story differently. You will no longer say, "I was hurt, but I was healed." You will no longer say, "I lost everything, but I found God in the ruins." You will no longer define yourself by what was done to you, but by what he did for you. And that's when true healing happens, when your past no longer owns you, but serves as proof of how far God has brought you. If your soul is tired, if your heart still carries invisible bruises, listen, you are not forgotten. God is closer to the brokenhearted than you imagine. He's not waiting for you to have it all together. He's waiting for you to open your hands and say, "Lord, here's the mess. Heal me." And he will. You don't have to carry shame for the things that broke you. You don't have to keep pretending it didn't hurt. God already knows. He was there. He saw every tear. And yet, He still has a plan, not despite your pain, but through it. Your pain is not wasted. Your healing is part of your calling. Every step you take toward freedom becomes a testimony of what grace can do. So let go of the labels others gave you. Let go of the idea that you're too damaged to be loved, too broken to be useful, too late to be redeemed. Those are lies that chain your soul. God breaks chains, not hearts. He doesn't define you by your wounds. He defines you by His. On the cross, He proved that no wound is beyond redemption. He carried His scars not as reminders of defeat, but as symbols of victory. And if even the Son of God rose with scars, so will you. The healing you seek begins with permission. Permission to stop running, to stop hiding, to stop pretending. Let God touch the places you've buried. Let Him breathe over the ruins. Healing may not come overnight, but it will come. And when it does, you will finally understand that what hurt you the most became the path that brought you closest to Him. You will no longer wake up haunted by what was said, done, or lost. You will wake up grateful for what remains, for the love that never left, for the peace that now lives where pain once slept, for the God who never abandoned you. Even when you thought He had, this is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, the one where healing wins, the one where you walk without the weight of yesterday pressing on your chest, the one where your laughter returns not as a mask, but as a melody of freedom, the one where your wounds no longer define you, they testify of grace. Let these words sink deep. God is not done with you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are in the middle of a process that heaven is orchestrating. The pain that once isolated you will soon become the bridge that connects you to others who need to know they can heal too. So breathe again, hope again, believe again, because God is still writing your story and healing is already in progress. And if this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Someone needs to hear it today. Someone out there is fighting a silent battle, thinking they're alone. Be the voice that reminds them you're not forgotten. God is healing you even now. If this message brought peace to your heart, share it with someone who needs healing today. Leave a comment with the word healed as a declaration of faith. Subscribe for more devotionals that bring light to the soul, hope to the weary, and strength to the broken. Your healing journey starts now. Don't walk it alone. God is with you, and so are we.